Patrick's Day is almost upon us, so we have felt inspired to kind of create some recipes that are inspired by Irish food and a technique, but kind of modernise, flavour it up a bit, add a bit of goodness. You know, I'm going to use up some leftovers and just show you Irish St. Patrick's Day to one side, just going to show you a really great recipe to use up some leftovers, get some nutritional goodness in there. So we're going to make a soda bread, okay? Great to go with a nice beef stew, something like that. And I've got some leftover cooked potatoes, okay? So what we're going to do is just slice these up, all right? Now, with bread, potatoes work really, really well. I actually learned how to make a lovely Italian focaccia once using potato and rosemary. So you always end up with a few potatoes left over. So I'm going to show you a great recipe. So slice the potatoes up, not too thin, about ½ centimetre. Right, just push those to one side. Okay, then I've got 3 spring onions. Let's just chop the tops off there. Put those to one side. I'm going to use the white and the green. So just slice them up. All the greens sliced up so we get that really lovely sort of mild, sweet, oniony flavour. So let's just mix these together. I'm going to add a touch of olive oil, okay? So almost dress it kind of like a salad, if you like, okay? I've got a little bit of cider vinegar because I kind of like the idea of a little bit of tang. So this is literally dressing it like a salad. Okay, we're going to season it. So I've got a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then get your hands in and just mix it together. So it's gonna taste absolutely delicious on its own. I mean, that, you know what? That'll be a lovely salad. Delish. Okay, so we'll move on to the dry now. So let me just push this to one side and we'll talk about the bread. So what I've got here is 300 grams of self-raising flour, and then I've got 100 grams of rye flour, so we're trying to add in that extra hit of goodness. And I'm just kind of blending it together so the flours, you know, you don't end up with a clump of one and then the other. And then I've got some bicarbonate of soda, a teaspoon, that's going to go in, and that's going to be our raising agent for the bread. Okay, ½ a teaspoon of salt, because we did the other ½ a teaspoon on the potatoes and spring onions. And then we'll just mix those together. Now, I've got some leftover bulgur wheat, which is really good for you. And whenever I make this at home, I do always end up with too much. So it's a great way to get it in. So we're just gonna add the bulgur wheat in. You could use quinoa, bulgur wheat. You could use a bit of couscous, a bit of rice that's left over, a bit of brown rice. That'd be good. But I've got some of that wheat there, and then we're just gonna blend it all together. And it's just a great way of just kind of hitting it with some nutritional value. Right, so that's all blended nicely. Okay, so let's take the potatoes and the spring onions, and we'll just push those in. So all the vinegar, the oil, the seasoning is all on there. Okay. Lift it up and mix it all together, okay? Right. So now we've got our flavours in there. We're gonna have texture, it's gonna be delish. Okay, so make a well in the middle. Okay. And then I've got some, okay. So I've got this kefir, which is like a cultured milk drink, really good for you. I've just kind of discovered it, all about good gut health. And again, it's another nutritional hit that we're just trying to get into as many recipes as we can without sort of taking away from the flavour. We're adding nutritional value. So in with 250 mils. You know, if you can't get this, you could easily use buttermilk. You could use some yogurt if you want, but I wanted to use this. Okay, so now I'm going to add 50 mils of water. So what we've got is 300 mils of liquid now in total. And using a metal spoon, let's just mix this all together now. And what you don't want to do is overwork this, because we want it nice and light. We don't want it really tough. So you don't want to develop the gluten too much. So if I show you that, you can see with 300 mils of liquid, we're just starting to come together. And remember, those potatoes have also got some liquid in. So I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm just going to scoop this out now. So get every little bit. Grab a little bit of flour, just a little bit. So say a teaspoon is enough. And then what we're going to do is just start to bring this together. Now, normally when you see me making bread, we're kneading, we're working. We're not on this. We're just going to shape and bring it together. Okay? So, pull it towards me and push it really gently. Okay? And if you start to stick, just put a little bit of flour on your hands, not on the bread. Okay? A little bit of flour on your hands, and that'll help you. So, all I'm going to do is take my hands at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and we're going to shape the dough like this. Okay, so shape it, shape it, shape it, and that's just kind of bringing everything underneath so I don't have a big crack down the middle or anything like that. Okay, so that's it. So I've got these ceramic baking trays which I'm absolutely loving, and you can get these on our website. Takes you straight to the Amazon shop, no problem, easy. So lift it up, straight on, okay? Drizzle a little bit of oil on the top. And I want to do this first because when I'm going to cut into this, I want this to go all golden and lovely and crisp, okay? And it'll look beautiful and it'll taste amazing. Take a knife, okay? And just slice in. And it's probably, you want to use a sharp knife so that you don't drag the dough. And I'm going to cut in about 1/3 of the way. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to do the same again. So cut in about 1/3 of the way into the dough, okay? And you can see now, it's just starting to open up there. And that means that all the heat can penetrate and it can prove up. What I've got is a little bit of good English cheese. And I'm gonna cut about 1/2 centimetre slice. And I'm just gonna put that there, and then just do another one. And now we're going to have kind of cheese on toast baked into our lovely potato, spring onion, soda bread. And there we go. That is going to go into the oven. It's probably going to take about 40 minutes. And to check, when it comes out of the oven, carefully lift it using the kitchen towel, something like that, and just tap it on its bottom. It needs to sound nice and hollow. And then leave it for about 10 or 15 minutes if you can before you eat it.